Hi, welcome to the first video of the homeboard kit. Congratulations if you bought all this. If not, this is what you get for your money. When it arrives, this is what I recommend you do as well. Before you actually go to your wall and you start installing it in your wall, just in a nice warm environment, easy, nicely set out on a big table. Put everything out, make sure you've got everything, and make sure it all works, and make sure you understand the system, and then it'll make your installation a lot easier. What do you get for your money? You get a load of LEDs. There's 250 there, and there is this string as well, which is a special string. It's a special string. It's marked up on the label. It's the first string. It's the first one that goes up the first column of LEDs. You also get some screws for mounting the board. They go in the different holes. That can be mounted onto a board somewhere. You also get some drill bits, 12mm drill bit. That's for putting the LEDs in. You put them in from the back of the board, and that's a 12mm hole, and it's a push fit, so it's nice and snug. When you drill the holes, you tend to make a bit of a mess on the front and the back. Just on the front, clean it with a bit of glass paper, a bit of sandpaper. On the back, just get the larger drill piece. This one's 28, you may have a 25, and just use it just to clean up the back of the holes. Apologies about the cats. They go mad if I lock them in the kitchen. If they go too mad while I'm doing this video, we may stop. I also give you a 13mm drill piece. This is for countersinking. If you go into the back of a joist, you may need to and then we have to drill all the way down so that you've got a 12mm hole in there. What else do you get? You get a power supply for the control unit, for the electronics, and this power supply also powers all of the LEDs. So it's actually 8 amps. The output is 5 volts, but it's 8 amps, so it does chuck out quite a bit of power there. And also you get the control unit with a touch screen and a plug for the touch screen, on-off button, backup system for the electronic, for your data. That's Pablo, just in case you're wondering. I'll just move you out the way, Pab. You also get a power booster cable, 2 of them. There's one here. And you get also a data cable. This one is the important cable. Out of all the cables, and even the LEDs are quite resilient, but this one, do be careful with it, do be gentle with it when you're handling it, and especially when it's on the back of the board and you're standing on it, try to avoid that. But that's your data cable as well. So we've got all those bits. I'm going to show you how to set it up, so at the moment I don't need that. Oh, I've missed out the acrylic lenses as well. These are an optional thing. If you want to buy these, they're great. They are very good. They stop the glare from the LEDs and makes your board look really smart. But I won't use those at the moment. I won't show you how to put those in. I don't need my data cable, and obviously I'm not going to be doing any screwing or drilling on this table. I think my wife may have a bit of a moan at me to do that. Anyway, so here's the board. Nicely positioned. I've got a power supply unit just off screen here. I'll just plug it in, and as I plug it in, you'll see that the screen boosts up. I'll also just neaten it up a bit so it's nice and square. A bit more probably. A bit more. There. Okay, there we are. So it's nice and square for you to see. And then I'm also going to get the power supply unit. I'm going to plug that in, and also I'm going to, you can see it turns blue, showing its work. Make sure that's pushed in nice and tight. It does have a tendency to come loose when you push. And then there's a power supply connection at on the side. Just put that in, and then the magic should happen. You see the Raspberry Pis appearing. It's all powered and controlled by Raspberry Pi. Thank you very much, Raspberry Pi Foundation. There we are. And then it boots up and you should hear a click. Software comes on, there's a click, that's a good sign. Obviously no LEDs have lit up because I've not got anything connected. So how do I connect it? Well, I need this data cable. It's got two ends. Virtually impossible to connect the wrong way around. This one goes into the control unit, this one goes to the LEDs. So this one into the box, oops, that one into the box. It's marked up green. I'll colour code this green for you lot so when you come to use it. It clips in. It should clip in with a nice firm feeling. And then the other end then gets connected to your first set of LEDs. Your first set of LEDs, as I said, is a bit special. It's different from the others. It's got a blue cable which is negative, which has been cut, trimmed down. It's got red, which has got plus like all the others, a connector, and it's got a male connector. It's got a little thing which says this is the first LED, it doesn't do anything, it just turns on, shows the board's working. This is your first LED. This is hold 1, bottom left hand corner of your board. If I click on here, I know it's not very clear, and scroll down, just over here, A1, when I click A1, that one will appear and turn on. So I just need to connect it up, get that, connect it up, and also do the power as well. Power on, I'll just move that out the back now. So that's my first LED string. I'm then going to reboot just by clicking reboot and saying yes. Oh, sorry, reboot and saying yes. And then boots down. You can hear the click, and then I'm now waiting for the second click as it boots back up. And when you do hear the click, you should also see some LEDs light up. Voila! And so that proves that your LEDs work. A bit of dust on there, sorry about that. And what it does when it first lights up, it goes through a whole sequence and it lights up all 300 LEDs. So at the moment it's trying to light up the next lot, but obviously they aren't connected. Just to show you how it does work, there's the indicator LED. If we go back into setting problem, click on A1, click yes. A1 lights up, which will be that one. It's the first LED. Can't prove that. There we are. I won't take this whole string apart, but then I can go A2, which is somewhere in here, and then A3. That one's red because these are the first two LEDs, your first starting holds, and then red is your last hold. Obviously we have not created an amazing problem yet. A4 is down here, and that one's turned blue, showing it's just a normal one. A5, 6, A7, A8, A9, etc. And you can go up through it. What you can also do is to make sure that the whole thing is working. You can go into settings. I can go into enter admin password. The admin password is home, so you just type in home. Then I press light effects and it starts lighting up. This is very useful for checking the next set of strings. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the end. Here's the end with then two connectors, a red and a blue, and then get my next LED string. It's got the male connector again, and it's got on it as well, if I take that out, so it's a bit easier to see. So if I take that out, it's got male connector, and it's got the red and the green, red and the blue. So you do red to red, blue to blue, and a connector to the connector. These only go in one way. There's a little clip and there's a little mark on them, so they just slot in with a reassounding click, reassuring click I should say. Blue connected up, nice pushed in, and as soon as I power it up, then the next set of LEDs light up. And then I can continue the process. I can do the next row, find that, and I can just check to make sure that all the LEDs light up. I've not got a problem that they've got damaged in transit. If they're electronics, and so they tend to sort of break or fail, not break, fail in the first 2 weeks of operation. The bench tested for 2 weeks at digital training boards and to see if we can iron out any faults. So I've now done 50, 100, 150 LEDs. You might just about be able to see that they've gone a bit dull at the end, because the voltage, 5 volts, nice and safe, doesn't cause any problems. I can happily touch it and get a slight touch the electronics, and it won't interfere with me at all. But what's happened now is it's dropped down to about 3 volts. That's why we need this, the power cable. It's got 2 connectors, one's red and black, wires going into it. I'll colour code them for you lot, so that one's red and that one's black. It gets again plugged into the side of the box, and then at the other end there's some connectors which need to be connected to one side of a string and another side of a string. What I tend to do is after about 100 LEDs, I connect this up at the beginning of the 3rd string, and this one goes at the very end of all the strings. I'll explain what I do. I'll leave this on here so it's easy to see. So I plug it into the sides. This is a 4 connector. There are 2 8s on the side. Just put them in the middle so that if you do expand your board, you've got more chances of putting in power. I'll plug the power in, clicks in, and the plus in and the minus, the blue, and then you get this. And then it's best if it's connected just to the beginning of the 150th string. So here, I'll just get that. So I just have to move that around a bit. Red to red and blue to blue. And then instantly you might have just seen that going wee, nice and bright, nice and colourful. And so now I've got 150 LEDs which are lighting up. I'll just let it go through its sequence. And then it goes to its nice pretty coloured pattern. And what you want looking for is consistent steady lights. If you end up with anything that flashes, you've probably not clicked it in firmly, or it's not nice and smooth. So when it now changes to being the multicolours, they should be nice and smooth rather than flickering at all. I'll just move this to one side. There we are. Nice. And then I need to check the rest of the LEDs. I do 1 string at a time. I've cheated slightly. I've already connected them all together. So now if I get my LED string, connect this up, find the power cables, plus blue to blue, red to red, blue to blue, red to red. There we are. But you might just about see that, yeah, they're actually starting to get really dull at the end here. Really dull, and they're flickering ever so slightly. You might just about be able to see that. In actual fact, the last ones in this light, you can't really see are lighting up. So I need to boost the power. How do I do that? Again with the power lead, I just connect it up, and instantly you can see and go nice and bright. That's the power plus and the minus, and then I've got really nice, consistent, good quality LEDs all nicely. I'd leave it running for an hour just to make sure you don't have any problems, nothing's happened to them when they've been posted. They're LEDs so they don't get hot, they're nice and cool, nice and safe. They're IP67 compatible, which means that they're waterproof, so you can have them outside if you wanted to. They look really nice, so you could have them as Christmas lights. Rather expensive Christmas lights, but you could have them. And they illuminate up nicely. You're given 350 LEDs, even though you paid for 50. That's just in case there is a problem with the string. If there is, just take the string out and put in the spare one, and you can return that string to us. Return the good string to us as well if you want. That's good for the environment. And even the drill bits, if you return those to us, we'll recycle them and move them on to the next customer rather than just recreating all this waste. The ports on the front are for backing up. You can use them for charging things like mobile phones, etc. But you are taking quite a bit of power out of the power pack, so don't overstretch it. Don't plug loads of different things in to the front. It's got 8 amps. The board only takes, when it's fully illuminated like that, about 4 amps. So there's enough spare capacity in the system, but you don't want to stress it too much. There we are. If you want to turn it off, press the off button, hold it for a few seconds, and it turns off. If you want to turn it on again, you can just then press the on button, and after a few seconds it will burst back into life and go through its sequence. Again, congratulations on buying it. Out of all the videos, this is